Yes. So this is one new ceasefire deal possibility in a series of talks that's been happening for the last few days. This was the fifth round of talks, and each time they have collapsed. Now, it's important to point out, we have heard they may have reached a deal, but we're only hearing that from the rebel side at the moment. We've had no confirmation yet. And this has happened several times in other ceasefire deals around the country, where we hear something might have happened and then actually it falls through at the last hurdle. Now, there were several issues that were in contention here. One of the main issues was the fact that the Syrian government wanted to be allowed to send Syrian troops back into the area in Deraa. And the rebels, they're saying, no, they fear reprisals, summary arrests, they want Russian military police. So after several rounds of talks, the Russians and the Syrians agreed to that, saying they could have Russian military police in there instead. The next issue was heavy weaponry. They said they won't lay down all their heavy weaponry until they have seen lots of civilians being able to return safely to the area. It looks like now some sort of deal about a phased handback of heavy weapons, the rebels handing them over to the Syrian government and the Russians, has been reached. But the rebels also saying they want a guarantee of safe passage for 6,000 fighters and their family to go up north to Idlib, which is one of the last rebel-held areas still standing. Now, this is a big change in the rebels' line from the last few days, where they've been standing very firm and walking out of talks. Because, of course, we've seen a big change in how much of the land they hold in the last 24 hours, really. It looks like the Syrian government and the Russians, as you say, are approaching the Nasib crossing, incredibly important crossing to the Jordanian border. Once they hold that, that's sort of it for the rebels, really. So now that it has become clear to the rebels that more and more of the territory is going and they're unlikely to succeed here, they are looking for a way to make a deal. Now, as I say, no confirmation, but we're likely to get confirmation in the coming hours if this deal has been reached. And of course, I'll bring you more if that's the case.
And briefly, Leila, if you would, if this deal is confirmed, what would it mean more widely for the conflict?
Well, this is one of only two areas left in the south that the rebels still hold. Once this area falls, as it now looks likely to do, the next area will be Penetra, slightly to the north. That's on the Israeli border, and that's likely to lead to a lot of fighting because the Israelis are concerned about having more troops stationed near their border, of course. So that's for the southern part of Syria now. President Assad has cleared the surrounding of Damascus, the surrounding of Homs, which had rebel-held areas. All that will be left after these southern areas rebel-held is this area, Idlib, in the north, where lots and lots of fighters and their families have been fleeing after ceasefire deals. Then there is a part in the north also, which is run by the Kurds and the US, and then there are some small pockets run by Islamic State. But if President Assad can clear rebels from this southern area and retake it, he's well on his way to getting the country back fully under his control.